Okay, so welcome to the day two of Python games, and this is the day two. In day one, we got started with Python. Okay, so now we'll go ahead with my presentation and we'll code side by side. Okay, so what did we learn in the game? Day one, just a summary, short summary. We understood about the main game loop. Next, we created our first game window. We talked about all the components of the game window and about we talked about how games work and the fundamentals points of the important points you can say of any game that is on Play Store or App Store, Apple, like iOS devices or anything. And we discussed about the user having the control, and whenever he or she exits the game, like clicks the cross button, the game should exit itself, and that is what we have to trigger. Okay, now let's see what we're gonna learn today. Now, after animations and graphics in a game, what is the only thing the user like the user plays the game, and it should be um, quite like interesting, like so that the user doesn't leave the game. And that is the uses or like that is the use of colors in a game. Okay, so in any game you can just go on any game on Play Store, any game. uh, you will find lots and lots of colors being used, and that looks wonderful on a game. It is just amazing. Like different shades of a color and many colors make the user like stay on, like keep playing the game or something like that. Now, animation and graphics are like the topmost important thing that is in the game. After that, colors are the most important for sure. Now, talking about colors, there are many different types and shades of colors. We can just mix two colors, make a new color, try different shades of colors. Many are like available on the internet. In real life, what we do is we call them by names. Like, say, this color is red, this color is green, and this color is blue. But of course, the computer doesn't know this. The machine, or let's say the system, doesn't understand any of red, green, and blue. Now, if we say, I want red color, the system is, of course, not gonna understand what you want or any of that. You can also like go and say green color. You can just write green in your Python code. It will give out an error because the computer doesn't know what is green and what is red. It really doesn't know. Now, we have to figure a way out of this so that we can just make any other color in the world. We don't have a limitation, of course. Like you just can use these shades of red, these shades of blue, and these shades of green, some shades of yellow and orange. No, there's no limitation. That is what the programmers wanted, and that is the one thing that they decided. Like, just think how to achieve any color in the world. Of course, by mixing, right? You can just mix different shade of red with some shade of blue and a lot of yellow. That will give you a different color. You can mix orange, like red and yellow, you get orange. You can mix red and blue to get violet. And if you mix green and blue, you'll get something as cyan, like cyan color, right? And yeah, this is about the colors. You can get any color in the world by mixing. Now, mixing what colors? There are many colors in the world. You can mix any color with any color to get something different. So on this topic, the programmers thought that they had to like give 3 to 4 limited colors, which the programmer can mix and make a new color, and those three are red, green, and blue. Now, today we're gonna talk about all the colors, how to make and mix colors, what is RGB, and colors in Pygame, of course, how to change the background color of a window, black and white colors. We're gonna talk about that also. Now, of course, there are unlimited colors in the world. The colors that are shown on the screen, these are not the only colors in the world, but there are many more colors than this, and the list never ends. So that is where we can just mix two colors and form a new color, right? Okay, so RGB, RGB, yeah. So that stands for red, green, and blue. As I said, red and green make cyan color, blue and red make something like purple or magenta color, and red and green make yellow, of course. And when we mix all these three colors, that is red, green, and blue, we get white. Now, how do we interpret this in our code? That is the big question. So, before I show you this chart, yes. Now you can mix red, green, and blue to form any color in the world. Yeah, yes, this is true. You can just mix some color red and some blue with some green, and I don't know because I'm not that good in making colors, of course. And you can form any color in the world, and that is the magic of RGB, red, green, blue. So yeah, that is what the programmers thought would be helpful in making something that could give the program like other programmers like unlimited colors. They can just mix any colors and get new colors. That is what I'm talking about. I think like I hope you're trying to understand this. And you can use red, green, and blue to create any color in the world. I'm not kidding. Okay, values of RGB. Now from 0 to 255, you can mix these three colors to form any color. Now here, wait, 255 is the, you can say the brightest shade, whereas 0 is the darkest shade. So here, just let me get a pencil real quick. Yeah. So here, where the red is 255 and the green and blue values are 0. That means that the green and blue values are 0. That you don't, like the computer is understanding, you don't have to mix any of these blue and green. You just have the 255 of the red. So that gives you a red shade right here. Talking about the orange shade. The red value is 255, the green value is 125, and the blue remains 0. Now what does this mean is you have to get all of red, the brightest shade of red, that is 255, and some part of green, and that value is 125. Maybe halfway there. Yes, halfway. So a middle kind of shade of green and the brightest shade of red. And talking about yellow, what if you want to form a yellow color, a bright yellow color? For that, the values are 255 of red and 255 of green. That means you have to, the computer or the system has to get the brightest shade of red and the brightest shade of green and mix them together to form something as this bright yellow. Not talking about light green, maybe you can say a bit light green. I can't figure it out. So the R value is 125. That means you have to take some middle shade of red. The green value is 225. That is, you have to take the brightest shade of green, and the blue remains 0. All these times the blue is 0 cause If we add blue, the final shade that we form will be a bit darker, maybe. Because blue is a dark. I think I'm right. Okay. And what if you have to get a bright green? What if you have to get a bright green, something like this? So here, red is 0. You don't have to get any shade of red. Blue is 0. You don't have to get any shade of blue. And green is at its brightest. That means you can just form a bright green by using R as 0, G as 255, and blue as 0. Now, I'm not gonna show like all of these colors to you, but you can just get the values out of there. Okay, now these aren't the only colors you can form with this RGB. You can form any color as I said, and I'll show you how you can later. Now, of course, it's like mixing colors, like you're mixing some shade of red with some shade of and green and maybe no shade of blue, or to make, let's say, light blue, or let's say a whole bright blue, you have to use like the brightest shade of blue and no red or green. Okay, now how do you mix? Now one, maybe there's a mistake, 0. Okay, from 0 to 255. So 0 is the darkest, or maybe no 0, of course, like 0 means nothing. You don't have to use any of the shade. After you start with 1, that means you have to take the darkest shade of the given color. I'll show you how you can interpret all this stuff in the code, of course. And 255 is the brightest shade. So it's 1 is the darkest, 255 is the brightest, and 0 is no shade at all. You just have to ignore that color. Okay, now we'll talk about black and white later. Now let's go to our code, of course. Okay, let me just cancel this. Yeah, here we are. What we did in last class is we imported Pygame. Yeah, where's my first? Yeah. We imported Pygame. We initialized Pygame, the basic function pygame.init. That means that tells the system that you have started using Pygame, all of his stuff. We declared width and height, and after that we created a screen display, just like that. We created a variable that is running to sorry, to handle the running of the game or how it runs, and we created a infinite loop that runs while this variable is true. So right now what do we have here is something like this. Just a second. Let it run. Yeah, yeah. It takes some time because there's a lot going on here. So let me just run it one more time. Make sure this runs. Okay, it did run, but we didn't give it enough time. Let's do this one time. Okay, so what we have here is something like this, a whole black window with something right here, some icon right here, and 3 options right here, or buttons. Out of them, one is disabled. I don't know why. I know, but like it's for later. It's later. Okay. Now we can just close this, and it gets closed. Okay. So that is what we have done till now. Now, talking about colors, let's add some in our game. Let me give a quick comment. that Python ignores, of course. You're going to have comments in the Python camp. Now, I want red color to be formed. As I said, you have to use RGB so that the system understands you're trying to create some color. Okay, here I declared red and I equal to sign, and after that I just opened and closed a pair of brackets. Here we go. Now inside these brackets is what we're gonna do. Like we're gonna mix colors inside. Now, as I said, RGB, that means red, green, and blue. To make a bright red color, what we need is the brightest shade of red, that is at 255. Now, the shade of green should be 0, of course. So I give a comma and a 0 so that it understands uh, like the green value is 0. Now, after this, the blue value is 0, of course. So we can just give 0 like that. Now talking about green, we create a variable green, open and close brackets. Red, like red shade is 0, the green shade is 255, and the blue shade is 0. So this is what green looks like. Now talking about blue, let's create a variable blue equals to a pair of brackets 0, 0, and 255. So this is how you interpret color. Now it isn't something like this man just has created some kind of variables, given some brackets and put it like has put some values inside them, and now he's saying he has created colors. So to show this, what I have to do is I have to like maybe put it on the window, right? The window that we just have made. So you can see what difference does it make. Now here we just have declared like a display statement where it creates the game window, but what I want is we can store this thing in a variable also. So here we go, screen equals pygame.display.set mode width and height. So all of the game window, all the display related things can be accessed using this variable, that is screen variable. And now we can work with this screen variable like yes, we can work with this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna write screen real quick, put a dot and write fill. So this will tell Python and Pygame that you have to fill the screen with some color. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the variable red inside this. Has to tell Python that you have to fill the screen with the red color. Now let's run this and see the output. Here you go. You get a bright red color on a window. Congratulations, you just did it. Oh, I didn't close it. Okay. Now I want green this time. Let's try to do this green. Hopefully it works. Does it? Yeah, we get a bright green. Now try getting a darker shade of green. Okay, not a darker shade, but a shade of green. Okay, let me just go there and see the values. Okay, now I want a pink color. What are the values? Red is 255, green is 0, and the blue is 255. So now let's go create a variable named pink. Let's do this. Pink, create open and close brackets 255, 0, and 255. So hopefully that creates a pink color for us. What the heck? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now let's run this. Yes, we did just create a kind of pink. I don't know. Maybe it's magenta or something. Okay, no problem. We just created some new color. Let's try new colors, of course. Um, okay, yeah, we have that. Now let me try this color. Zero. Just a second. Let me drink some water. I'm really thirsty. Okay, the cyan color. So let me show you which color I'm referring to. This one. Oh, sorry. The red value is 0. The green and blue values are 255 each. Let's do this. So this is how you actually create colors. Cyan is 0, 255, and 255. So here we go. Run this. Oh, we didn't change this statement, which tells it to fill with the color. Okay, now we can run this. Here we go. We get a bright, good cyan color, and that's how we mix colors. Now you must be really thinking these are some limited things that we can create. So let's say you wanna get any color in the world, and so for that, what you have to do is you have to go to google.com. There you can just write RGB, sorry, RGB Color Picker. So that is what you write. Right. Okay. RGB Color Picker. That means red, green, blue color picker. Okay. You can just go to some links. Maybe. Yeah. Here it is. Here it shows you some kind of hexagon thing with many shades or colors. You can say I want some kind of this color or this color or this color. Let's see this one here. Now after we select this color, the lighter and darker shades will all appear here, just like that. And below the hexa code, like the hexa code of this color, will be the RGB value of this color. So here is the red value, that is 255, the green value, that is 102, and the blue value, that is 102, of course. So now we can just go there and say what color it is. Just a second, just a second. Okay, maybe it is, I don't know, it's a color. Let's say create a variable my color and create a tuple. Now open and closing brackets are called tuples. Not tuples, but I'm messing up. No. Okay. So tuples aside, tuples are something else. Just forget about tuples. Now red is 255 in the given color, green is 102, and blue is 102. Now I want to fill this thing with my color. Let's go on real quick. My color. Here we go. And this, it stopped. It stopped working. Okay. Some issues. Here we go. We got our desired color from the internet and the RGB value of the color. Now that's how you can get any color in the world. Of course, any color is available on the internet. You can just click on this color, the lighter and the darker shades of the selected color, and then there are some very good bright colors available down. Then just scroll down to get many colors. Okay, that's them. Okay. Yep, maybe I want this color. Let's just copy this color. I want to type it. So let's say, what color was that? And a yellow. So we can name it yellow. So here we go. Yellow equals, there's this thing. Now RGB is of course not understood. Just go on to my color and change it with yellow and run it. Getting that yellow color, of course. Now that is all about the colors that I was talking about. But there are two shades that are quite good. We can say good, yeah. Black and white. Now, after like working with all those colors, the only two colors that are left is black and white. They're black and white. Now, okay, so it's halfway there. We're halfway there. Now, what I want you to do is go and drink some water, move around a little bit, and I'll be back in some time to continue. Okay, yep, here I go. Okay, so I'm back here, and is my screen visible? Just let me make sure. Okay, I do think my screen is visible, so here we go. Okay, now where were we? Yeah, we were on black and white. Okay, so we created many colors: red, green, blue, pink, cyan, my color, whatever is that, and yellow. Now talking about white and black. Now white and black are two totally opposite colors. Like they're really opposite. So what black is totally dark, whereas white is also like there's no color present in white, but it's really opposite. So let's just create another variable named black. And I'll just tell you the RGB codes for that. It's 0, 0, and 0. Yeah, it's 0 and 0, 0. And talking about white, it's totally opposite. 255, 255. Stop my cursor, come on. And 255. Okay. So now let's try filling it with white first so as to make sure that it is working. Okay, so the screen is filled with white color. Now talking about black color, let's make sure that we fill the screen with black color. Oh no, there we go. Now it's black as default, so that doesn't really matter. Okay, now you must think like, can we just fill the screen with just like one color? You want to mix two colors and then show it up on your screen, and you have some gradient, saturation, hue, whatever is that? I don't know. Now for that, Pygame doesn't have the feature of mixing two colors and then showing it on the screen. What you could do instead is just show an image instead. So going to google.com again, and here it takes some time. So background colors. Hopefully there are some images which have mixing of more than one color. Here we go. Now as you can see, black is present, a darker shade of red, red, orange, yellow, and white. Yes, kind of white. Now how to like make these kind of images, um making these kind of images as the background color, or let's say the background image, we can say. So first things first, what you have to do is you just have to download these images first. So first there we can just save this image like this, choose whatever your folder is. So save image as, it takes some time, my computer is quite slow. Come on. Yes, there it is. Come on. Is it working? Is everything good? What the heck? No. Hung up. It just hung down. I can't move. Please let me. Just open the task manager. Do something. All this. Okay, I want to make sure everything is good. Okay, now we can just save it as color. Hopefully it's saved. I didn't know what just happened. I'm really sorry for that. And just wait a second. Screen. Right there. Okay, here we go. Now from my PC, that is, I'll just go ahead. Show folder. Come on, show up. Okay, here we go. Now this image is right now inside my system that is downloaded. Now what I can do out of this is I can just go ahead, right click, and hopefully copy this. Now into my code in my folder, I can just paste this, and I can just set the name as color.jpg. And okay, here we go. We have saved this image in our game folder just like this. Now how can we work with these things is also, come on, work please. What the heck is it? Please work. I'm really sorry for all the inconvenience caused due to this machine. Okay, now what we can do is we can just create a variable that is image and save it as igame dot image dot load. Now here we can just give the file name as color dot jpg, so it has to access it, the image out of there you go, image, and it has to fill it. Now image, run it, and yeah, it will show you some kind of error that is invalid color argument that is image, cause this is a type of image. Like, just see the extension, it is an image, right? So what we can do is just a sec. Yeah, okay, let's just remove this image, and here we go. Just a second. No, actually I'm like alone in my house right now, so I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry for all the time that I took. I'm really sorry, because there was just like That food was burning. Okay, no problem. So what we can do here is real quick. Okay, so we just loaded the image and now we can just into the main loop because we want the image to like be visible always. What we can do is just say screen dot split. Now all of this stuff I'll just explain you in detail in the next coming like sessions. So what we can do is just give image and a tuple of 0 0. That means we have to just blend the image onto the window from top to bottom and work for fast and just okay, so now you can see some part of the image has been blended onto our game window, but this is of course not what we want. We want the whole image to be on the game window, and I'll teach you all of that in the coming few sessions because right now I'm not supposed to go much deep into images. Okay, so that is how you just blend image onto the game screen. Now this is all about colors in Pygame. Let's just revise real quick what we learned today. Now, any game has to get a lot of colors in it. Now, as we progress through all the 10 to 15 days of the camp, we will work with colors in like each and every session because we want the final game, and we're gonna create 3 games just for your information, and we want all the games to be colorful and wonderful, so that is why we're gonna work with colors throughout this camp. Now another time compute the system doesn't understand the name of the colors, all of these names. Now, what it does understand is RGB, that is red, green, and blue. Now, if you have like even some experience with web development, the colors you use there are in hex codes. So they have like hash FF00 and something like that. I know about it. What's that for? Okay, it is like mixing, of course. You can mix just RG and B to make like any color in the world. Black and white, 0 is the darkest and 255 is the brightest. Just keep that in mind. And black and white. So black is of course like out of all those colors. So it is like 0 0 0. All the 3 colors at their darkest, or there are no colors at all, of course, because the darkest is 1. And 255 is like the brightest, so all the 3 colors at their brightest make white. And I told you about the RGB color picker. Now you can just go on to like Chrome and pick any of the colors as I told you. Here we go. You can just pick any of the colors, any shade of the color. Here I told you about the gradient and saturation things. Like if you have to mix 2 or 3 colors, you have to use an image, of course, things like this. And yeah, so what I want to do is like now we have like 15 minutes left, and now I'm gonna tell you the extra activities, like all the activities, or let's say not homework but activities to keep you like good, be working with it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna write all the code again. Okay, so first things first, import pygame. Okay, keep practicing this, else you'll forget it, of course, cause you can't just remember all of this. We initialized it. Now what I'm doing is both the sessions included, like the previous session and today's session. Now we can just set the width to maybe 500. I don't want it to be much big, and another 500. I want it to be in a square shape. Now I'll declare a variable named screen pygame. This happens all the time. Display dot set mode. Here we go. Set mode as ins- like another pair of brackets inside them with the width and the height values inside them. Now working with the screen, declare a variable running that is true. Now we'll just go ahead and get a while out of there. While running, create a for loop that runs through all the events, the list of events in for event in my game dot event dot get. Now conditional, like if the event that is happening is the type of equals to I game dot quit. Okay, and down here you can just say pygame dot quit and quit. Quit is a function inside pygame. Now this is what we learned on the first day. Talking about the second day, the colors. Just gonna give some colors. Red, okay, I like it. Red is 25500. Green is 02550, and blue is 00255. Talking about black, but it's like black and white. Black is devoid of all the colors, so it's 000, and white is of course made up of all the colors. Oh, sorry, variable 255, 255, 255. These are all the colors. Now you won't know any of them until you just see them on the window. So here we go. Screen dot let white. Okay, yeah. I just no, not bled. Just screen dot fill with white. Blade is for images, and we'll learn that when we. Oh, sorry, I just forgot one thing that we learned on the first day. That is pygame dot display dot update. That is keep updating each and every change if any. So there we go, white screen now. Keep playing with all this stuff. Okay, now I'm on red screen. Okay, so it's basically this, like just create colors, change them, blend it onto the display window, and play around with them. I told you about the color picker. That is, you can just go onto this particular website, w3schools.com slash colors that slash colors picker dot asp, whatever. You can just write color picker, RGB color picker on Google. There's a Google color picker also available, which can just get you any color that you want. This color, and it will give you the RGB values, the HSL, HSV values, the hex values. We don't need any of them because we just wanna work with the RGB values. So here you can get any color in the world. Yes, you can get just any color in the world. That was like what I was talking about. Red, green, blue can make any color in the world. You can just go down, and there are many websites giving you the color pickers talking about two colors at once. For that you have to use the images that are available, or make your own image with some editing tools like Photoshop or something, I have no like idea about that, but yeah, and you can just go ahead and download this on your like system. Go ahead and like copy it and paste it in your game folder, and you can just blend it. I'll tell you the blending thing again if you just forgot about that. Image is mygame.image.load. That is the name of the image. Color.jpg. Here down, you can just put it in the main game loop, but I prefer it just about like screen.blend image at 00. That is from the top left corner. We have to split it. Here we go. A small part of it is visible. Now we'll learn about images in deep in the coming sessions. Cause I'm not supposed to like tell any of these, but yeah. Now what we did today is we just changed the background color. Else it was just looking like a dumb window, and it was like nowhere near a game. Now let's just say read. Okay. Now let's discuss the components of the game window that we have to change. The name of the game window is something like iGame window. Now here it is some kind of icon. We'll learn how to change icons. Now everything is quite good. Now of course you can't just play a game right now because you're just learning your basics. Now after today's session of learning colors, tomorrow we're gonna learn some. Tomorrow we're like not tomorrow. In the next session, we're gonna learn about images. We'll see how images work, how to resize images, and yes, that's it for today. Thank you everyone for joining with me on YouTube. Please just excuse my slow running computer, of course. Okay, it's time I leave.